Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about children's literature. You can think that because it is for children, then it's not important. But you know what? That's a misconception, and I'm going to show you why. Literature for children is important because it allows kids not only to acquire language, but also it can help them to deal with their emotions, and but not to say that it can help them also to feel pleasure by reading. So we can say that children's literature can fulfill several roles. For example, acquire language, which is so like a pedagogical way or academic, to cope with their emotions when they need help to understand something that they are living, or to read for pleasure, which I really enjoy so much. But today I want to discuss about how children's literature can help kids to deal or to cope with their emotions, and especially a type of category that is called disturbing books for kids. It must sound like pretty strange to us because there's like a misconception. People always think that children's literature can only talk or tell kids the nicest moral arguments, like always the good one and the bad one and like fairy tales, but that's not true. Kids need to talk about things that they are living, and they are not living always the nicest thing in the world. So researchers like Fanuel and Ann Diaz talk about a category that is called disturbing books for kids. And what he means is that disturbing books talks about things that are considered taboo to talk with kids. For example, death, sadness, homosexuality, and a lot of things that I'm not going to discuss right now. So, to start, I would like to give an example of a book that can be considered as a disturbing book, a disturbing tale. This book is called Dog, Death and Tulip, and it was written and drawn by a German. His name is Wolf Elbruck. I don't know, I don't speak German, but that's okay. I mean, what is important about this book is that it talks about death. And you can think that we shouldn't talk with kids about that, but that's a lie. We need to talk with kids about death because it's a fact. We are all going to die. That sounds terrible, but it's true. And the great achievement of this book is that it talks about death, but with no religious affiliation. That means that you can use it with your kids, and it's not important what you believe that is going to happen when you die. What is important is that you die. So, let me show you the first part of the book. As you can see, there's a dog and the dead, and one day this dog that is living happily, he's like he felt that he has company. So he asks that person like, who are you and why are you following me? And who answered the question is dead, and she said like, I'm here because something can happen. And the dog is like, what? I'm going to die? And she's like, no, you are not going to die yet. So they start like talking about the meaning of death, and the conclusion is that if you are living, you can die. So you have to live now. A second book that I would like to show you, it's King and King. This book is considered also a disturbing one, but it's so funny because the argument is simple. It's just the love story. The typical fairy tales that we always hear as kids. What's going on here is that Linda Hahn and Esther Nylanch, two artists, they wrote and also drawn this story, and it's about a guy, a prince, that his mother told him, okay, I'm old, now you have to get married and you have to find a wife. So he started like making a casting of princes, but he found them horrible. I don't like any of this girl, he said. But one day a girl, a princess, go to the palace with her brother, the charming prince or the blue one, and he fell in love with that guy. So they get married, therefore they become king and queen, and they live happy forever. As you can see, this story is just about love. I think that it's beautiful, but it's considered disturbing. So you can ask yourself, why is this considered disturbing? Is it disturbing for kids or maybe for adults with a narrow, closed mind? To finish this lecture, I would like to say that it's important to talk about disturbing topics with kids, because as Aristotle used to say, when you are living, sometimes, well, okay, he doesn't say it in that words, I'm saying that in my own words, but he talks in the Poetic about the process of catharsis, when you are living something and you need like a purification of your soul to live better. And that was what happens with kids. They are living difficult things and they need to go to a process of catharsis, and these types of books, the disturbing ones, are good for that. Okay? So read it. Thanks. Any questions? Wow.
So you are trying to study this topic because you think it is important that these kind of books should be read by children because of what kind of after effects of that when they are adults, I think. So what is the purpose with this topic?
I want that, okay, when a kid is going to read a book, it's not always their choice. There's always like a professor, a teacher, or their parents who gave them the book. So I want to talk to teachers and parents to give kids this type of books and then talk with them about that. Because I think that if you don't talk about what you are living, you are going to have all that things inside of you, and when you grow up, you are going to have problems.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Do you think that the children understand or see a difference between disturbing books as we recognize them and other books, or for them it's just a lot of books?
I used to think that they could see the difference, but now I know they don't see the difference. We are the ones that see the difference because we are adults. So for that, it's important to read this book with them, because we don't want like people with narrow minds and close, I don't know, with stereotypes.
Nice.
Okay, thanks.